Hey everyone, Dark Souls here. Today I have something special planned for you. I'm going to be beating Dark Souls with only firebombs. To start, we pick the Thief class for the Master Key and take black firebombs as our starting gift because firebombs. Now, on top of only using firebombs, I'm going to be using a Cabela's Top Shot Elite gun as a controller. Because the normal controller is just too easy. I'm not going to regret this decision in any way, shape, or form. Just open this big door. Oh, look at that. It's already time for the first boss. That's a lot of damage.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Man, no wonder black firebombs are a speedrun strat. Only took 5 bombs, now just to hoof it to Oscar and get some Sunny D. We take the Crow's Express to Lordran. Firelink. Home sweet home. Now to just grab a few bits and bobs and I'll be on my way. Just run past the hollows, say hello to the dragon, sit at the bonfire, or at least try to anyway. There goes 2 perfectly good firebombs. Need more bombs. The merchant here will be my main source of firebombs for the duration of this run. 50 souls apiece, I'll take 16. Now, let me show you something. I can throw a bomb at this hollow right here, and he drops 80 souls on death. 80 is bigger than 50, so unlimited firebombs. Now to farm for a bit, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, 27 should be enough. Please be enough. Normally I would cut this, but I think this is actually the first time I successfully jumped over that barrel, so I was pretty proud of that. Just gonna go up this ladder and take care of the archers. What's the damage look like? Yeah, this shouldn't take long. Just 14 bombs later and Taurus Demon goes down. Hello, Solaire. You sure are a sight for sore eyes. And for my compliment, he gives me a bar of soap. Not really sure why. Poor hygiene aside, let me show you something. So here's the fun thing about the Drake's Fire. If you bait out the breath attack, it kills the hollows on the bridge, and nets me a total of 555 souls. This will be my main source of soul farming for the run. I'm only showing this once, but just know I do this hundreds of times throughout the run. Alright, off to see Andre. I have a slight disagreement with the pig along the way. Grab a bonfire, kill the knight guarding a firecreeper soul with, you guessed it, firebombs. Grab the soul, and upgrade my Estus to +1. Time for the gargoyles. And with this damage, it won't take long. You know, for how much you breathe fire, you aren't really resistant to it. First try gargoyles, and the first bell of awakening rung. Back at Firelink, I discovered that you actually can't kick without a right bumper, so that was fun. All that meant though is that I had to take matters into my own hands, or rather, the firebombs. Things got so hot for Lotric that he voluntarily just jumped off the cliff to cool off. Alright, I'm off to Lower Undead Berg to take care of Capra Demon. I get lightly roasted on the way there. Take care of these dogs the only way I know how, with fire. Then clear the entire area, and ignore the boss for now, until I make it back to Firelink. Which reminds me, I never grabbed the drops from Lotric. Let me do that. Not gonna wear the Fapper ring now, but it'll definitely be useful later on. I know I said I was gonna kill Capra, but first, I'm gonna grab some good armor and go kill a butterfly. The butterfly is an easy fight on a normal run, but is somehow made even easier with firebombs. Not much else to say. Easy first try. On my way back from the butterfly, I make stop for a certain grass crest shield. I'm not really planning on using it as I don't have a block button, but the stamina regen is just too tempting to pass up. I visit Havel at his tower. He's not really too fond of visitors. Anyway, it's down to Blighttown for the second bell. To get there, I pass through the Valley of the Drakes with the Master Key. So I've run into a problem with the next boss. Quelaag is immune to fire, which you might say seems like a run killer, and you'd be right. However, I have a plan. Mildred here is a summon for Quelaag, if I kill her when she invades me. The problem is she's practically immune to fire. I could kill her with firebombs, but I don't want to have to go back up to buy more firebombs. So I've got a better idea. If I go up this elevator here and have Mildred follow me, she should fall to her death. Now that Mildred has discovered gravity, it's time to have her help me with the next boss. Mildred normally has trouble soloing Arachnophobia over here, but if I throw a useless firebomb, it draws aggro. Being able to keep Quelaag off of Mildred allows her to take down Quelaag with ease. Good job, Mildred. That rings the second bell and opens up Sen's Funhouse. I make a quick stop in Anor Londo to grab a Firekeeper soul and get my Estus to +2. Now I'm ready to take on the fortress. By take on, I mean shamelessly run past everything. I give the Serpent the Sen's Fortress special. See another one get squashed by a boulder, never gets old. Then get flattened by a boulder myself, nailed it. After a quick jog past some axes on a thin bridge, I'm at the next bonfire. Before I take on the boss, there's a merchant I need to visit. This guy sells black firebombs that do more damage, but cost an arm and a leg. Yeah, I'm gonna need more than one. Alright, I got more bombs. Time for the Iron Golem. That's not a lot of damage. Correct my math if I'm wrong, but something tells me this isn't going to work. Luckily, Tin Can over here can be made to fall off the bridge, but that poses another issue. Free aiming with this controller is a nightmare. Yeah, this is kind of ridiculous. Oh, come on. It takes a few tries, and more bridge farming than I would like to admit, but eventually, the golem goes down. I touch a suspicious ring, get grabbed by whatever these things are, and I'm off to the place of giants and sunshine. Praise the sun, this place is gorgeous. Ah yes, the Anor Londo scaffolding. I was not looking forward to this. Real talk, this is probably my least favorite area in the game. And to make matters worse, I sometimes died on the way there. It's probably safe to say this controller was not meant to help you traverse tightrope-like bridges. Just as I was starting to lose sanity, I made it to the bonfire. With some company. Just walk up to the one on the right and walk away. It's that easy. If done correctly, he should lose his footing and fall to his death. Seriously though, how did I ever struggle with these guys? Hello Slayer, long time no see. Time for Ornstein and Smo. We'll see how this goes. I struggled with this boss on a normal playthrough. How's the damage look? 40 on a normal firebomb and 92 on a black firebomb. None of the fights have even been a challenge up until this point. This fight will test both my skills with the controller and my patience. See, Ornstein here is fond of hopping out of the way of my firebombs, so I need to wait for the right opportunity to attack. Usually that's when he's walking or after he does his jab attack. Now on to problem number 2. I suck. Also, each time I miss a firebomb, that's 500 souls, so you can imagine these failed attempts add up. So much so that I had to make the walk of shame all the way from Anor Londo, through Sense Fortress, and back to Undead Burg so I could farm enough souls to buy more firebombs. While I'm back in the starting area, I decided to pick up a few things that might help. I get Havel's Ring so I can fast roll in the full Elite Knight armor, and do some speedrun strats to skip the catacombs and fight Pinwheel. By the way, props to Pinwheel for being almost a real boss fight this run. With the Rite of Kindling, I think I'm ready to go back to Anor Londo. One problem was that I wasn't fast enough. Luckily, someone in my chat suggested I ditch the armor so I could fast roll. Thank you, Ed. Before this, I played Dark Souls mainly in mid-roll range, but I was clearly missing out. The difference between that and fast roll was night and day. With a maxed out inventory, a lighter roll, and a whopping 20 Estus, it was only a matter of time. I did it. Finally. I did the impossible. Oh, yeah, Wrestling game. So Seath is the first on my hit list, which means going through the Duke's Archives, a place where all the enemies have extreme elemental resistances and do way more damage than they should. What could go wrong? I make a mad dash to my quote-unquote mandatory death, and after a quick prison sentence, I ride a staircase and run past everything until I make it to the bonfire. After unlocking a door that looks like it's straight out of Scooby-Doo, and really testing my anxiety, walking across nothing, I make it to the Scaleless Dragon. I never have much trouble with Seath, however, I will admit I underestimated him. Damn it. Alright, after inhaling a bar of soap to restore my health bar, I give it another few attempts, and it's only a matter of time until the Crystal Dragon falls. Before going after any more Lord Souls, I think I have some unfinished business to attend to. The dogs aren't an issue, mostly. They each go down with a single firebomb, and the Capra is kind of a pushover without his dogs. First try Capra, and the depths are unlocked. He also dropped his Great Machete, which I've never seen him do before. I don't need Laurentius, but come on, I have to save him. It's a mad dash through the slimes to the next bonfire. Not really much to say about this boss. He's literally not worth the firebombs it takes to kill him, which is why I swapped to normal firebombs about halfway through the fight. As long as I don't fall asleep on my controller, I'll be fine. Before I continue on the main route, there's a certain stray demon I should pay a visit to, so I journey back to my roots to the Undead Asylum. The stray demon's explosions can cause some issues, however, I found if you just keep circling around him, he can't do much. Just run to his butt, throw a firebomb, rinse and repeat until you see the golden victory screen. 10 out of 10. Easy boss. Ceaseless Discharge is next. Now, full disclosure, there's a few bosses I couldn't kill with firebombs, as Ceaseless Discharge is 100% immune to fire. One boss I couldn't kill was Ceaseless, and the other was unfortunately the Fire Sage Demon. Honestly, this wasn't the best decision, but I was tired of grinding for firebombs after every attempt. Even though I didn't kill Fire Sage with firebombs, that doesn't mean it was an easy fight. See, instead of using firebombs, I opted to use dung pies. With dung pies, I have to wait for him to die from toxic, and the final fight took over 15 minutes. With Fire Sage dead, Centipede is next, who just so happens to be immune to fire. Not to worry though, I have a plan to get around that. Yeah, that wasn't part of the plan. No, my plan is not to get stepped on, but to get eaten. Just hug this wall, bait out the grab attack, and he goes flying into the ceiling, where he eventually falls to his death. It just works.
All of this just works. It's not, I'm not kidding.
This area really highlights how rushed some areas in the game feel. Fair warning, you might need sunglasses in 3, 2, 1. I can't see anything. Okay, but seriously, how did this make it into the final game? I somehow make it to the bonfire, and am only partially blind after. Ignore one of the Daughters of Chaos, and take the water slide, minus the water, down to the bed of chaos. After a failed attempt to free aim firebombs to cheese the boss, I just run to the left, then run to the right, and make a beeline straight for the pit in the middle. Okay, I didn't expect to do the bed deathless, but I make it to the bug in the next attempt. Oh. Alright, nobody saw that, right? Before the next boss, I kill the Hydra, even though I don't plan on doing the DLC. I make a stop at Laurentius for some moral support.
Goodbye then. Be safe, friend. Don't you dare go hollow.
Then I kill Petrus. For no reason, but it's Petrus. I want to do Nito next, which means I need the Sunlight Magnet. So I make the stop at Lost Izalith to grab it. And I start making my way through the Tomb of Giants. Side note, never go AFK in Dark Souls. This is what happens. Rest in peace, Patches, you probably deserved it. So while I'm editing, I just noticed that these rocks on the walls seem to move. I have no idea why they do that. Anyway, I make my way through the tomb like normal and challenge Nito. However, I quickly realized this might be harder than I thought. See, without a holy weapon, I have to fight Nito while being constantly attacked by his 4 skeletons. I have a plan though. With 2 rings, I can make myself invisible to the skeletons. With 2 rings in hand, I have ascended to the ethereal plane. Time to test it on Nito. The Ring of Fog makes me almost invisible, and the Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring makes me almost silent. Those 2 combined means the skeletons are not aggroed on me when I enter the fight. Without his skeleton goons, he's kind of a pushover. After almost 40 black firebombs, Bone Daddy goes down. On my way through Sans Fortress, a snake joins me in the elevator, almost killing me. Elevator shenanigans aside, I restock my firebombs and make my way over to Andre to buy the Crest of Artorias to take on the Danger Doggo. I'm not crying. You're crying. Unfortunately, Sif is a required boss. She drops the Covenant of Artorias, which will allow us to traverse the Abyss. Now to get the key to the seal from Ingward, which means traversing the ghost house. You don't need to see all that, just know it wasn't fun. Really? Even up the ladder? Do you know what I've gone through just to talk to you? Luckily, he's more than happy to give me what I need. With the floodgates opened, the 4 kings are within my grasp. Is what I would say if this was an easy fight. Turns out, with not only limited mobility, but atrociously low damage, the DPS check isn't passed with flying colors. Now my usual strategy is just to face tank with Havel's armor. However, when you have 4 kings on the screen at once, there's only so much the armor can do. I'm gonna need a new strategy. I grab a couple Firekeeper souls and get my Estus upgraded. And just for good measure, I turn Anor Londo dark and commit a bit of murder. What? I was doing a good thing. I basically put her out of her misery. Now my Estus is at +6, which is as far as it will go. With an upgraded Estus and a little bit of good RNG, the 4 kings fall like the rest. There's something I've been putting off for too long now. Besides, there's an item I want. I make the journey to Lost Izalith to save Solaire. After my first playthrough of Dark Souls where Solaire went hollow, I promised myself I would always save him in every Dark Souls playthrough I did in the future. Now that I've done that, about that item. I pick up a doll so I can get said item. After admiring some art that seems just a bit too real, I'm transported to the painted world. Luckily, I'm not here for you, Priscilla. I'm just here for the armor. King Jeremiah's armor headpiece can be traded for another Fap ring, which I lost fighting Nito. Before I take on Gwyn, I go kill his son, Gwendolyn. Here's some proof that Solaire was actually saved. If you save him, he becomes a summon for Gwyn. I'm not gonna use him though. Alright, on to Gwyn. How hard could he possibly be? Oh no. Oh no, that's not good. And I can't even parry? I tried over and over, but I just couldn't make progress. Until... Wait a minute, that was a parry animation. It does work. This might be possible. For context, pumping the shotgun actually counts as L2. However, I didn't know it actually worked for this controller up until this point, because every time I tried, nothing happened. I do some rough testing with the controller. So basically, I'm going to need to do that, but I have my thumb, so when I do this, let me see if I can show this. I need to hold it so when I have it, and my thumb immediately comes back to X instead of doing this and then fiddling looking for it. Okay. Now that I have a strategy, it's all up to skill, which I seem to lack at first. I take some time to practice parrying without firebombs. I'm not there yet. But I was getting closer. Even getting him to the very end, only to fail at the moment of victory. This might be the day. No. No way. No, it was actually so close. However, it was only a matter of time. Let's go! Yes! He's dead! Took so long. Praise the sun. Let's go! I did it. That's it. That's the run. Dark Souls, not only beaten with a gun controller, but with only firebombs. Thank you all so much for watching. I plan on making many more challenge run videos like this. If you liked it, consider leaving a like and subscribing. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.